Okay, I think we are live, guys. Okay, so those who are on YouTube, okay, yes, we are live. Okay, so hello everyone. Thanks for joining this stream, right? And I have Anmol here with me. So all of you, those who are in LinkedIn as well as on the YouTube, please comment so that I can see. Okay, can't post comments on some destinations. Okay. Uh, okay, great. Good evening. Greta has joined. Good evening. Hi, Anmol. Hi, Praveen. So yes, Prashit, thank you. Hi. Yes. Hi. Hello. So Anmol, I think everyone is here.
Yeah.
So we will start the session in few minutes. I wanted to see who are all in LinkedIn, right? So I think they all are eager to meet you, by the way, right? So why don't you go with your small introduction, Anmol?
So yeah, I completed my graduation in 2022 batch from Central University Bilaspur, and after that I got a full-time opportunity from Zynga as a SRE, and before that I did various internship and uh, and I have internship in DevOps engineering as well. Then later I got a full-time offer from Zynga as a SRE.
Okay. That's really great. So you are placed straight out of the college, right? That's what you
Yes, I
meant.
got a offer straight out of my college. Yes.
Okay. So guys, those who are with us, right? There is a point to be noted. So we will see how Anmol has achieved straight out of the college, being a fresher. He got an SRE role, right? So I think many of you would have been very much excited to know about Anmol's journey, right? Yes, this is recorded session, and guys, those who actually don't know, this is streaming on YouTube also, right? So you all can watch my channel. It will be Praveen Singhampalli, right? And the channel name I will give to you, right? So today we will see how Anmol has become an SRE straight out of the college, right? So this is my YouTube channel. You can see there also, right? So Anmol, tell me one thing, right? In your college when you have started, right? So did you thought that will you come into SRE or any kind of such things you had, or just you randomly got into SRE role?
Let me share my couple of experience before that. I told you I have did couple of more internship before getting into DevOps. So I was like in internship testing and development, and sometimes I did content writing and did product management in my college days, like internships during a COVID lockdown. So I realized that I'm not enjoying development at all. So I thought that I should go and move ahead some other fields. So I started discovering other fields like DevOps, product management, and other fields like data engineering as well. But later I decided to that I should go for DevOps role because I'm more interested toward cloud engineering and systems engineering towards at that moment of time when I was in college. So I start looking for DevOps internships and DevOps opening through different platforms like LinkedIn, InstaHire, and others. So for that, I started preparing for myself, like how to get into DevOps by myself. One thing I would like to tell that it's a quite difficult for a fresher to get a DevOps engineering role in the industry directly. I've seen people told me that you are a fresher, it's difficult for you to get a DevOps role. But still, I was like, I have only target to get into DevOps role anyhow. So I prepared through various resources like Udemy, YouTube, and I joined your session as well during winters of 21. So I got experience and exposure like how to do DevOps role and how to understand how to uh, learn things by myself. So that's how I get land my first internship into DevOps in January 22. So that is about my first break into DevOps role in a startup. So in that startup, I learned a lot. I contributed a lot. So that's how I entered into DevOps. But later I decided it's not a good organization to got into a full-time role. So later I move ahead for a better roles for a full-time job because it was the contract job, not a full-time role.
Okay,
Then
that's
I
really great.
yeah. So
I think
then later
Anmol, yes, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you. Yes.
yes, yes. So then later I started to apply for other roles. So later I come to know about the SRE roles. So every company has their own uh, titles to say about the SREs or DevOps. So I started applying for the DevOps role for the full time and SRE roles. So one thing I would like to mention that SRE roles are not for the fresher. Either they are from on-campus placement or you should have a experience at least to get into SRE roles. So that's how I understand during my job search. So I got a interview call. I applied to an Insta hire for the Zynga. Then from a recruiter, I got a call. Then I gave the interviews, and eventually I get an offer from a Zynga as a SRE role.
Okay, that's really great. So I think Anmol, you have done so many things when you were as a college grad, right? And I think that's
Yes.
what made you to achieve this this product-based organization, getting into that, right?
Yes, agreed.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
because I have this much internships, so I have a higher chance of getting a shortlist as a multiple organization. Like I gave so many interviews, like from for Amazon, for Airtel X Labs, for Bharat Pay, for Reserve Pay. I gave so many interviews. So from rejection from so many interviews, I got this offer at the end. So that's
Okay,
how
that's
my journey was.
really great. So, how many of you feel that Anmol's journey was really great to know, right? Because I feel when I was a college grad, I didn't do anything what Anmol did, right? So, yes, everyone is telling, wow, Anmol Bhaiya, very motivating. What is his LinkedIn ID? So, Anmol's LinkedIn ID will be, can you tell your LinkedIn ID name? Anmol Sahu, right?
09 Anmol Sahu 09.
Anmol Sahu 09. So those who want to connect with Anmol, you can definitely connect. So before going into the other things, right, like certifications, what interview questions somebody can expect as an SRE role, or any other things before we go, any questions our viewers want to ask, please can post in the chat, and Anmol will be answering that. So let's go ahead. I think I have received few of the queries on Instagram also. I will take that as a little point of time later. But before, those who are viewing on the screen, right, you can ask your questions, and then we will go into the Anmol's, how and what exactly he did, certifications and all. So Prashant is asking Anmol, I'm a soldier from Indian Army. Even I'm learning SRE skills. Prashant, that's really great, right, Anmol? What you say on this line?
Like that's a motivating. Like people from army as well are keen to learn SRE and DevOps skills.
Yes, that's really cool to know, right? And I respect to every soldier, right? And thanks for learning SRE. That's really great. So let's go ahead. Anmol, how was the career in SRE? Recently I got SRE role. Can I proceed with that, or should I look any other role?
I would say that when I joined SRE, I had the same question that how was the career? How would be the career in SRE role 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line? So I discussed with my seniors. I connect with other SREs over LinkedIn. So they told that SRE career is more rewarding as you can contribute in the organization. And one SRE I talked on LinkedIn, so he told me if you are on a top 1% of SRE people, so you might be more expensive than the SDs in their company. So that is a more important thing which I came to learn, that SREs are more expensive at higher experience level. So yeah, that's a very rewarding career.
That's really good answer. I see so many questions. Anmol, we have one more question from Ganesh. What is the difference between SRE and DevOps role?
As far as I came to know about the difference between a DevOps and a SRE role, like I worked in a startup as a DevOps, then I came to a Zynga as a SRE. So DevOps role are more in towards the operation side, whereas the SRE in any organization mostly focus on either on-call, monitoring, observability, and reliability of the product. And whereas the DevOps make sure that your product release and your deployment would be much more faster. So, and at the end, they both each other are complementing to the organization. Like some part of both of the skill set are most of the common. Like few skill set might be exclusive only for the SRE or for the DevOps, but like a skill set like a CI/CD using Jenkins is common. Automation scripting Python, that is common. Using an AWS console is common. So like most of the skills are common, but few definition as per the organization they will change. So it might be a difference, but at overview they both are complementing each other and doing the same job at a very high level.
Okay, that's really great. So I think so many questions are flooding in. So let's take Ayush's question. Bhaiya, I am in fourth year preparing for placements. I'm interested in cloud and DevOps, but no companies are coming to that role. Please guide.
Yeah, actually, let me tell you one more thing that got each and every opportunity in my career by off campus. I never tried for on campus opportunity during my college time. So I only tried to get opportunity either from LinkedIn or from portals like Hireis, Insta Hire, on Naukri.com. So before going to that portal, I would suggest to make your CV so much stronger that no one can deny to see your CV. So first of all, I would say make your skill set very strong apart from your colleagues or from your peers. So you make sure your CV have a skill set which requires for a DevOps role, like basic things like at least you should aware about the cloud. You should aware about the console, AWS console, or the Azure or GCP as for your requirement. You should have a good programming skills in Python and other skills like I would say CI/CD. If you have an idea of CI/CD, that will also help. And then go for then approach recruiters, approach DevOps manager, DevOps lead on LinkedIn. So they will tell you if there's any opening at the organization. So they will definitely refer your CV. So that's how you can approach people on LinkedIn, so that they will definitely help you. Also, I came to know that when I approach people on LinkedIn, so when I show me their CV, so they told me that their feedback that my CV is lacking behind here and here. So I improved myself with that. So that also helps me a lot during my job search, that people are also helping people over the LinkedIn. So that's how I approach. And with the time, you'll definitely get opportunity, but you have to be consistent.
Great. So I think you told some of the new platforms. New means everyone goes towards LinkedIn, everyone goes towards Naukri. But I think Instaire is one of the platform which has given wings to your dream, right? So I think, guys, you have to, those who are searching, definitely get a chance to explore the Instaire also, right? So I see one of the important question where everyone is asking, right, what are your day-to-day activities? But Anmol, before going into this question, so guys, those who are on LinkedIn and on YouTube, please like the video, right? And I see very much less likes. And before going here, right, those who are new, at least watching me on LinkedIn, just subscribe to the channel. My channel name is Praveen Singampalli, right? So it will really help you. I will bring so many podcasts like this. So Anmol, one of the important question where always people asks, what are the day-to-day activities of an SRE, right? So can you just brief on that?
So the main primary responsibility of SRE is the on-call. In any organization who have SRE team, they're responsible to make that product reliable for the most of the time. So we are doing as on-call. Those who don't know what on-call is, like it's a time duration for SRE, particular SRE, that he will responsible for the reliability of a product globally. Like as per the Indian day times, like in my organization, we provide on-call from morning 8 a.m. or 9 p.m. or to 9 p.m. to evening. So in that moment of time, the India team is responsible for reliable of the product. So we provide on-call in that way that any troubleshoot happen, any error happens. So we'll responsible to make that thing correct or escalate to developers or a team which can make this correct. After that evening time, the US team will be responsible. So we help each other to make sure that our products are reliable throughout the time. After that, if any SRE is not on call process, he will do other tasks like automation. Few alerts and problems came very often that we need to make it automation. So with the help of automation, we need to provide scripts. Either it would be in a Python or it would be in a shell. So we automate the process so that if that same error came again, so it will get resolved automatically. Apart from that, we have some internal projects as well. Like right now, I'm working on a dashboard which helps to understand the whole system, what is going on the system, what is going into error, what is trouble right now. And some tickets, usually like we have to maintain the AWS console as well. So these are the main responsibility which I'm encountering right now. And it depends from company to company as well. Like other companies have their own set of tasks on a daily basis. So like, yeah, that's what I do really is that.
So I think it's really great to know you are working on dashboards. Like these are like real time scenarios, guys. Those who are watching both of us, right? So I think it's very good. You work on some dashboards. You showed the manager or the team that you are potential candidate for the particular team, so that you get good opportunities in the same team. And really great that you are telling you we all should know some scripting to become SRE. At the same time, you have to make the product reliable. That's really cool. And Prashant is telling SRE is like a war zone, like an Indian army, right?
Yes, to a certain extent, like my peers, those who are in other companies, they told that in some SRE teams they're very headache, like we are very much workload. But in my company, it's very chill environment. Most of the things are stable. Like we are making more stable every day, but things are very stable in my organization.
Okay, great. So Manoj is asking, I also applied to a lot of organizations but can't get a call. Can you suggest everything for me? I think you told you have to make resume strong with more projects, something
Yeah.
kind of that. So anything else you wanted to add to Manoj's question?
One thing I suggest to every candidate who came to me that how to improve and how to make my CV strong. One thing I did during my time, like whatever projects I did during my college days, I make sure that I deploy them on a AWS or EC2 and put the link of that deployed project to the CV. So that makes a very good impact to a recruiter that you already make a project full fledged, like developing from scratch and to deployment part as well. That you are that shows that you are aware of full cycle of deployment in an organization. So that makes a very good impact on our recruiter.
Okay, that's really great. So see, Raghuram is asking, will SRE need to work round the clock, or what is the exact thing, right?
Yeah. So like whenever you read a job description of a SRE role, they will mention that you will be a part of 24/7 on call. So in my organization, or generally the organization which I see, that they have a global team of SRE. Few SRE either will be in Indian location, and few will be in a UK location, and few will be in a US location. So in my organization, there's a US team, India team, UK and Canada team. So we will responsible for the on call from morning 8 or 9 a.m. to evening 8 or 9 p.m. That's how will be SRE India will be responsible. After that time, only SRE US or SRE Canada team will be responsible. So you have, and that there are also shift for that. There are so many team members in the Indian team. So there will be my shift. After that, my shift. There's when my colleague will handle that on call shift. So there will be rotational shift that will supporting each other. Not a 24/7. We mean that doesn't mean that we need to be aware and wake up 24/7. So it's a rotational on call.
Okay, that's really great. And I think every company has that policy, right? Rotation basis, it works, and some part of the work we will do, and some part of the work someone from the USA or the Mexico, Canada, different regions
Mhm.
will do. I think that justifies the answer. So now Vikas is asking, bro, what troubleshooting performed by a DevOps? So I think DevOps is more about me, right? So I can answer, or if you are
Yes,
good to go, you can definitely answer, because you work, I think, both with DevOps and SRE team, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Like
go ahead.
what I encounter as a SRE, like when we are on call, so we get alerts that this particular service is not working, or sometime escalation happen. So we'll like when escalation happens, so this will cause as a loss of revenue of a company. So we have to make sure that whatever problems come into any service, we have to find the root cause of the service, that how it is going to happen, and what is the reason that this error cause. So we need to make sure that this error doesn't happen again, and we have to rectify that error. Like we need to get a help from our developers that if we can't handle, or we need to ask our seniors, like some service SRE can't handle, like we are not developers to the product at a deep level. So we need to bring developers to get a help and to rectify those errors. So troubleshooting means that we are solving those errors at a real time.
Okay, that's really great, right? I see Prashant has typed so much big thing: SDLC models, architectures, why with agile, DevOps, SRE, DevSecOps. I think he has told so many things for the people to check with other things, right? So I think he's telling about SDLC, software development lifecycle, DevOps, SRE, DevSecOps is also there, microservice concepts are there. OS platforms are there to learn, Jira, Confluence. So I think Prashant, being an Indian Army soldier, you are knowing all these things. I really appreciate. I think Anmol and everyone are proud of that, right? And thank you so much, right? So I see many things now, 3 shifts. Okay, mostly. Okay, great. So Piyush is telling nice t-shirt. Thanks, Piyush, for joining. So Ajit is telling learn so many skills along with scripting languages. I think that's proper, right? So Anmol, tell me one thing. What are the certifications which are needed to become an SRE or a DevOps engineer? What do you think, based on the current market trends, right? I think that was the important question which I wanted to highlight to everyone in this live, right?
Like certifications are really important. Sometimes they will help you to get promotion, and sometimes they will help you to do a certain projects to a greater level. So right now I am preparing for AWS Solution Architect. So that will, as a solution architect, that will help you to get a very good understanding of a cloud, AWS cloud. And apart from that, my colleagues are going for Kubernetes certificates like CKA, CKAD. So that will help as a SRE as well in the long run, because at the end of the day, you are going to deal with the systems of an organization. Because in a product-based organization or any other organization, we have to scale our product to which can reach to a greater audience. So we have to make sure that our systems would be reliable and robust at the same time. So these certificates, I think, uh, definitely help in a long run. But I don't think like as a fourth year fresher or a final year student, you don't need to get certification too early. Once you enter into the organization, that you will learn with the practical examples, and that will help in your promotions and your projects at the same time.
Okay, that's really great to know. I think Shashank is telling anything, any kind of pillars. Do you know about SRE? Because I don't know any pillars as of now. Maybe if you know, you can enlighten Shashank on that.
Actually, as Google, SRE is standardized by Google. So Google has a standard book for the SRE. So that four
Okay.
pillars mentioned in that book. So I know, I can remember three of them: that reliable, scalable, and self-healing. And one more is there which I not able to recognize. So four pillars are there, that we should make sure that it's a reliable system. It should be scalable system. The system should be self-healing, and one more I forgot. But these are the four pillars which every SRE should know while working as a SRE
Okay.
responsible organization.
I think by joining your podcast, I think I came to know that there is some pillars which we should know. So, guys,
Yeah.
how many of you right after this podcast will check for the 4 pillars of SRE? Give a yes to me in the comment section, right? So that it will boost the audience confidence also. Okay, there is something to learn, and we have learned something new from this podcast. How many of you will do that? Just tell me yes. So I think people are already typing yes. It's taking time to flood on, right? So yes, okay, Greta is there. Yes, I will. Okay, that's really good to know. Now I see many questions are flooding in, right? Can a system administrator is eligible for SRE? I think Ratnakar is asking. What you would think on this?
As per my experience, like I would say, one of my colleague was system administration in a good organization. Then he got into my organization as SRE. So it's a very good eligibility criteria, and most of the companies will make you eligible to give an SRE interview. So I think that's a good eligibility for SRE.
Okay, that's really great. So Ratnakar, I think that is an yes, and definitely you can try for better opportunities. So Prasanta is asking, I'm having 2 years non-IT experience. Should I show it or not? If yes, then do I need to showcase real working description or just mention I was working in non-tech or what?
Let me.
Yeah.
I'm not getting his question. Can you like
No, let
please?
me explain you.
Yes,
Prasanta is
please.
working as a non-IT guy, right? And his
Mm-hmm.
question, he has total of 2 years of experience. Now he is
Mm-hmm.
asking whether he should put the 2 years of experience as DevOps or SRE, right? By
Mm-hmm.
working on some projects, or should he tell upfront that he is a non-IT guy? What do
Got it,
you
got
think?
it. I should say that you should be honest with your recruiter. Like,
Yes.
don't need to put anything false on your CV. Otherwise, you will be caught once you enter into organization. So be
Yes.
honest. Once you enter into organization, you can learn. You can say them that I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to grow as a DevOps or SRE. Once you good enter with the honesty, they will let you grow and let you learn, and then you can grow as a SRE in your long career.
Okay, so I got one of the, I think I will just flash on the screen. Ramesh is asking DevOps headaches versus SRE headaches. I think
You should know. You should tell DevOps headaches.
see, guys, it's everywhere the same, right? Even you go for development, you're testing, right? It's not about the career you choose, career path. Everywhere these things happen, and it purely depends on the type of work you get, and purely depends on the type of the project you get, right? So headaches are not there. What I feel, because I do love my profession, right? So I would say whatever I do as of now, I'm loving that. Maybe Anmol can explain on SRE headaches.
Like, I would say that it depends on company to company. So if in my organization, SRE team is very chill environment, like no work headache. Let me be clear. Like, I'm having very good work life balance, and my colleagues are very supportive. So since I joined, I never feel that I'm getting headache in SRE roles. Yes, there's so much responsibilities that you have to be uh, follow the SLA policy. Like, you have to respond in a certain time because you are SRE, and you should make sure that that systems are reliable. So yeah, that's not a headache, but that's a responsibility. Headache comes with the culture, work culture, and your team with your projects. So whatever projects I get, these are the like my doable things, and I don't take headache at all. Like, it's on you how you take things. Like, it's totally on you.
Yes. So I think many questions are coming in, Anmol. So I think most of the freshers are there with us, right? So
Yeah.
as you have started your journey, I think Vijay is also asking, I am a fresher with BTech 2022 passed out, and I was having good hands-on knowledge in AWS and DevOps, and I was certified, but I am applying for various companies, but I'm not receiving any calls. I think that is what his question is. So
Mhm.
what do you think, Anmol? Like, being in straight out of the college, I think you have just less years of experience, right? And you are looking out how the companies are hiring as of now, and when you
Mhm.
were trying to get into the job, right? So what difference you feel, what you will tell to the upcoming buddies, right? Because we should
Mhm.
support them, and that's what we are doing. So what do you feel on top of that?
So in my case, I had a DevOps internship before getting a full time role. So that helps me to get a shortlist more times. So, but if someone don't have any internship experience before, so I would suggest that do a real time projects. Once you have a real time projects, they will definitely make your CV outstand apart from your colleagues or your candidates. So, like, if you have a cloud practitioner certificate, that's a good point. But if you make a project and put on a GitHub and explain this, that how I followed a DevOps approach and how approaches I followed to make this reliable, that make an impact on a recruiter, that you are already keen to go into a DevOps role and you requires less polishing from them to get into a SRE role or DevOps role. So only thing that I would say, you have to show the recruiter that you require very less polishing or very less uh, teaching or KT from them. So that will make an impact. And I would suggest to present your work. Like, don't show that you are certified. Show that you are able to work.
Okay, that's really good. So I got an interesting question here, right? Aprajit Tiwari, right? He's asking you straight. Hi Anmol, currently I've joined as an intern in one of the big four. So that's a great thing, Aprajit. Congratulations for that. And luckily I've got into DevOps. Again, a double congratulations. And currently learning Terraform. What things should I keep in mind moving to have better career in SRE? So I think it will apply for everyone, guys. So don't skip this question. Please watch it from Anmol.
So, like, yeah, that's a very good opportunity to get into a straight out of from the college. I would suggest, like, whatever task you get on a daily basis as an intern or as a DevOps engineer, you should focus on that. Like, Terraform is a very high demand skill right now in the industry. Like, if you're learning Terraform at a very early level, that's a very great. Even I don't know Terraform at that level. So Terraform will definitely help you. Also, you have to make sure that you will good with the Python scripting. Like, scripting is very important in a DevOps or SRE role. Some organizations ask for a Golang. Like one recruiter told me that we use Golang, and so at that time I don't know what Golang is. So you should aware of other technologies like scripting, and you should know Docker as well, because Docker is a like very hot kick in the market right now. Apart from that, Kubernetes, you should aware of Kubernetes, and don't forget to have a good hands on a AWS cloud or a cloud provider which your company use. So these are the main four five things which will definitely help you at very early stage. Like if you start DevOps career even like straight out of your college, and getting these knowledge definitely will make you to get a good SRE or DevOps career in the long run.
Great. That's really a good answer. I think Docker, Kubernetes, maybe some monitoring like Grafana, Prometheus, you would definitely shape your career in good state, right? So I got one more question. Maybe it's up to you. You want to tell the range of the package, or you want to skip this question, or let's park this question at the end. So
Yeah.
according to you, we will do, because I see the next few questions are also in line with this same question.
Like I can answer this question in a very generic manner, that
Great.
whenever someone asks like what is a compensation as SRE or DevOps, what is how much rewarding this career is. So like I talked with so many SREs over LinkedIn with my colleagues. So they told me only single thing, that if you are at the top 1% or 5% of SREs, then you will be more expensive than a developer. So if developer earns X amount, you will earn like sometimes you will earn X plus 5 or X or sometimes 2X as well, because you make sure that product is reliable. Your company's revenue is dependent on product, and you make sure that product is reliable. And one more thing I would like to add, Praveen, that you saw that recently that layoffs are going in certain organization. So I
Yes.
asked the senior SREs who's SRE in one of the startups. So I asked him the same question, that sir, like you've seen that layoffs are going right now, and developers are going to a layoff, and why not? Why SREs and DevOps are not going layoff? Like I have seen very few people those who got layoff and they are SREs or DevOps. So they told me the same thing. Once if companies lay off SRE DevOps people, the product will not be much reliable, and the revenue will be affected directly. So I would say that it's a very rewarding career in terms of compensation as well, as you grow into a good companies. Like if you are in the product based companies or a very niche companies like fintech or in certain domains, so that will be a very good rewarding career.
That's really a good answer, and I believe that SREs are like people are actually looking for SREs, cream SREs, as you told, like
Yeah.
1% of the SREs, right? Everyone is a DevOps and SRE engineer, but the cream
Mhm.
gets the actual market right trends, right? As you told, the 2x or something, right? So definitely. So Surya is again asking the same thing, right? He's having very limited experience with SRE, right? But he's not getting the calls. So I think it is because of the situation which we are in, right? Which anyone cannot do anything on top of that, right? We just have to hope for the best. Maybe next few months everything gets settled down and we start getting the calls. Maybe I can tell that. Anmol, if you want to add something, you can definitely add on top of that.
Yes, I will agree to a certain extent that market situation is not that great, but I would suggest that make up go to a InstaHire, because I would like to share that even though I got a good job and good in an organization, recruiters approached me to come to their organization through InstaHire. So I would suggest InstaHire is a very good platform where you can get a good opportunity. So definitely you should try other platforms to get a good opportunity. But like yeah, the market trend is not that great like last year or before, so you need to have some patience.
That's good. I think yes, patience is must, and I think I have learned some good things from this from you basically, right? Which I'll be revealing at the end, like what are the things I have learned and all. So let's take some questions from YouTube also. I have done. Pawan is asking. I have done certification, but don't have much knowledge on Terraform, Ansible scripting. How this gonna help me, right? Pawan Royal is asking. Maybe you can tell the exact flow or the path what you will do if you are in this situation.
Like CK certification is like very good certification, but like like I would say Terraform and Ansible. Like Ansible is a very generic skill set. Like every organization at least have either an Ansible or Chef or a configuration management tool. But
Yes.
you should good at scripting. Yes, scripting is very important. uh, Things are like very specific sometimes company to company. Like one organization asks only Terraform specialization, some companies will ask uh, specialization in cloud like AWS or GCP or Azure. Someone will ask specialty in Kubernetes. So you have to be agile sometimes, like what is the requirement of the job where you applying. So one thing I would suggest in general manner, that you have to be expert in either of one thing. Don't you need to be make your eggs in all the basket. You should have expertise in certain skill set, then you can move your skill set in other skills with the time. So I would say become a specialization with at that time, then you'll get opportunity to your specialization.
That's really good. So I think Anmol, I have received few of the questions from Instagram also, which are,
Yeah.
I think we have already discussed, but just an enlighten on top of that. Amol is asking what we need to learn exactly to become an SRE. Maybe you can tell tool one, tool two, tool three, and you can tell on top of that whatever you are wishing to tell, right?
Like for a good SRE or DevOps, like as I said before, in an overview, SRE and DevOps skill set, most of them are common. So I would suggest there's 4 or 5 categories in which you should master at least before getting into the organization. So first of all is a CI/CD. So like it's a continuous integration and continuous deployment. So for that you need to have a good skill on Jenkins. So get a Jenkins for a CI/CD, or you could if you are pursuing AWS tech stack, so AWS Codepipeline would be better. And next would be cloud technologies, like either you would be go for AWS platform, either it would be a GCP or Azure as per your choice. But most of the companies I saw or observed with my friends or colleagues, they said AWS is very prominent. Like AWS is followed at almost every organization. And after that you should have a good core competencies in like computer networks, operating systems, and troubleshooting skills should be good. So you should, like many of juniors came to me and asked that, sir, we don't get shortlist, or we are not able to get a interview because of getting not able to answer the networking questions and OS questions.
Yes.
So you should be aware that core competencies and basics of your computer science concept should be important. And for container
Okay.
category, I would say Docker is a good. Docker is very hot in the market. And for orchestration category, I would say that Kubernetes is like it's very hot cake. Like everyone is going for that. Even I'm also going looking forward to it in the future. And
Okay.
scripting, I would say go for a Python and Shell. And one part also come like monitoring. Like as a SRE, you should be responsible for the monitoring. So tools like Datadog, Grafana, Prometheus, New Relic, it depends on the company, but I should say that New Relic is a very basic one to start with. So it's a very easy one to start with. And some organizations require configuration management. So tools like Ansible or Chef. And to advanced level, there's infrastructure as a code. So there's a Terraform, and for AWS stack, CloudFormation is there. So you should at least be core competent in these categories and these tools to get into a SRE role before getting into organization. As you grow in the career, you will learn system designing about a hypervisor and on-premise cloud. That's a very advanced level, but you should know the basics before getting into organization.
That's really great. So I think Ramnath is telling I am working in mech design, right? I have learned DevOps tools, but I am afraid to attempt for the interview, right? For any DevOps or SRE role. So what do you
Hmm.
suggest, like according to the trend? And I think he is also having very less experience. So I think that is where the fear is coming in. Maybe you can guide him to the best knowledge.
Like I would suggest, don't need to fear about anything. Like
Yes.
at max you will get rejected, but you'll learn. At the end of the day, what is important that you should learn what where you are going or correctly or not. So don't need to fear before getting into interview. Even like I also get nervous before getting to an interview, but you should be confident enough that you will perform at best of your capabilities. So don't need to afraid before about that. But I would suggest, like as I mentioned before, the skill set which required for DevOps or SRE, be proficient in your skill set, because skill set is your tool or your sword which help you to fight with during your interviews. So
Great.
that's the only approach which I followed. Like be confident and hope for the best and practice for the worst.
Great. So one more thing I would like to suggest here for Ramnath, right? Maybe you can take some DevOps and SRE mock interviews, right?
Yeah.
Just go to some senior person whom you know, or you can watch my episodes also. Like episode 1, I have completed the mock interview for an experienced people, and yesterday I had the mock interview for fresher, right? So you can watch in my YouTube channel, Praveen Singampalli, where mock interviews are there. Maybe episode 3 is on the way. Maybe you can be the part of that, Ramnath, right? So that's what. Yes, I also see this question nowadays. Platform engineering is all the way around. I have seen somewhere, like while I was going through the Google or somewhere. So what do you
Yeah.
think? Any idea on this? By the way, I don't know personally. Maybe if you have any idea, we can take this question also.
Like during my job search, I came to this term. So what I understand that some companies term the DevOps role, SRE role, as a platform engineering as well. If you go for a Meta, so Meta term SRE as a platform engineering. So that is only similar to like SRE DevOps responsibility, but they term it like a platform engineering. But it's not different like anything other.
Okay, that's really good. So I think it's almost the same, little bit
Yeah.
here and there. Some things are different, right? Okay, that's really great. So Ramnath is telling thanks a lot. Okay, that's great. So any other questions, right? You can just put it on the chat from LinkedIn. People on LinkedIn, I see that you are there. You guys are there. What do you think about SRE DevOps? You need any extra support from us, right? We can bring such kind of events on LinkedIn regularly for you all. You can tell in the comments what you need in the next coming days, right? So I will bring that, right? So yes, I think Ganesh is asking, Praveen, I am currently working as application engineering and want to move into DevOps role. Please give me the roadmap and advice. So I think Anmol,
Mm-hmm.
whatever tools you have told, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, those tools will be applicable.
Those are more than enough.
Yes. And Ganesh, for your question, I would like to tell you, in my channel, the entire roadmap for DevOps is there. Maybe SRE I will take from Anmol soon and I will put it on my channel, right? But for DevOps, I have given the complete roadmap. You can check on the videos. I think it will be 3 weeks back old video, right? So I think you will get your best answer. I have explained on slides, right? Can you suggest? Okay. Yash is asking, can you suggest some course for Python scripting, especially designed for SRE?
Like during my preparation, I have encountered similar question. Like one more question came to me, like DS is required for a SRE DevOps role or not? Maybe you are also encountering this question a lot. So
Yes.
for the overview of this question, I would say that you don't need to go for a very deep or advanced level of algorithm coding. We don't need to design or a software or a product. We make sure that product is reliable. So for that, you need at least medium or easy level of lead code level of coding. That would be more than enough for me. So I have only
Okay.
practiced like lead code easy medium to a certain extent, or for the most of the topics like up to linked list, stack queue, and binaries. So that would be more than enough, I think so, for this level. But if you go senior, you should know like more topics. And for scripting course, one GitHub repo I have encountered before, that name is automation with Python. If you search with that term on GitHub, you will find a repo that will consist so many questions and scripts which will help you to automate things on a cloud, on a Docker. So you will understand what tasks our DevOps do on a daily basis, or on a generic task. Like every organization have these generic tasks of making scripts, making cron jobs, making deployments job, or a Jenkins job. So search with the term automation with the Python. This you'll find repo. This will which will help this with this problem.
Okay, let's do one thing, Anmol. So I see that people are asking about roadmap. People are
Yeah.
asking about your where you can learn the things. So
Yeah.
if I ask you something, can you give me that data, right? Just with the tools you learn. I will
Mhm.
put it on my this
Yeah.
description of the video. so that
Yes.
people can watch. And whatever you told, I think automation with Python, something Git repo you told, if you find it, you can give it to me. I will put it as a description. So all are happy with this. I think people will be loving this because I will be putting all the details. I will talk with Anmol, as well as I have one more friend of mine who is working in SRE. Maybe I will take the data points from both of them and I will put in the description, right? So Yash is telling very informative. Thanks, Anmol, right? Okay. So how to learn real-time projects? Vishnu is asking, in some interview, ask real-time projects. So how one can tell that from YouTube, right?
Like what approach I followed during my time is that like I made a final year project during my college. So my friend and they make a project, they deployed a application, they made an application. So what I did, I made a CI/CD part of that project. I deployed that project on a cloud. So if you have any simple projects like having an e-commerce application, uh, what max you can do is like you can complete the DevOps part of that application, like get a CI/CD. If you make any changes, that will go through a pipeline and that will reflect on a deployed server. That would be a very important factor if you show this on your CV. And if possible, Dockerize that application. If you are able to Dockerize the application with the help of Docker file and the commands, that will give a good impact on your CV. So every application you can make a DevOps part of that. So that will contribute as a real-time projects on your CV. So that approach will help to get a good shortlist as well.
Okay, that's really great. So a quick like on LinkedIn video as well as on the YouTube video, right? So that we will take at least 5 more minutes, some questions, and probably we will wind up this session. I see most of the people are bombarding with the questions. So a quick like or anything which you feel that this video is helping you, or Anmol has come forward and spent some time with us. So what do you think, guys? Is it worth, or you want to bring something else, right? SRE, I think most of you have asked, so I have bring anything else you want, you can put it in the chat, right? And definitely I will be bringing. And yes, I get the details. Okay, I will take some more questions. Deepraj is asking, DevOps versus SRE, what's the difference? I don't see any job openings in big tech companies. So what is your thought, Anmol?
Like as I told you before, what are the major differences between DevOps and SRE? So like yeah, DevOps is mainly deal with the operations part, and SRE will be responsible for the reliability part. As your question said, yeah, big tech companies have openings. Like if you search a Google's career page, or like ServiceNow have different uh, terminology or title name for SREs. Maybe they say a software engineer for platform engineering or infra engineering, but you can find a SRE or DevOps role in each and every organization. But they have their own different term. Like one of my friend, he is SDE DevOps. So they will say you a software developer in DevOps category. So there are so many terminologies which companies state in the market, but at the end of the day, you are going to deal with the same tools and same practice. So it's about the terminology of each and every organization.
Okay, that's really great. So one last question of this day we will take, and I will ask then Instagram question. I think two questions, Debashri and one more person have raised this question, so we will discuss about that. So Abhishek is asking, what are the basic tech stacks we need to learn when starting with DevOps? At least the land an internship. I think I will do this question as an document. I will take the details from Anmol. I have already discussed. We have already discussed in the video about this tech stack of SRE. So what I will do is I will put a comment here, tech stack for SRE and GitHub details, right? I will share in description of YouTube video, right? I think that will work, and people will get help from that. So this is what I will do: tech stack for SRE and GitHub, the Python GitHub details, whatever he said. I will
Yeah.
put that in the description for the people, those who are really willing to learn something, right? So I think that will be really good. So yes, I see. Okay, people are still getting questions. Javed is asking, what should be the foundational topics should one do? I think that again comes in the same stack, right? So that's where I will give these details in the video description, and people can definitely look at that. And thanks, Akshay, for your compliment. I think people are telling Chandra is also telling thanks for the live session. It's always great to learn to different perspectives from the community. You guys are doing great job. Okay, so you have another role as automation engineer. Okay, guys, any other question? One last question and we'll wrap up this session. Guys on the YouTube, you are always welcome to like the video. Guys on the LinkedIn, I will bring one more new topic soon, where I have already thought in my brain, right? And that will really help you. I know how many people are looking for that opportunity, and I will give the poll also in the coming days. You can select, right? And any other questions? We will take one last question and we will wind up this session, live session. Any other things would you want to hear from Anmol? Or if you want to connect with Anmol, I will give his LinkedIn ID also in the description. Okay. Any other questions you have, guys? I love coding. Okay, people are okay. Thanks, guys. A very informative session. Thank you. I love coding. Can I opt for same in DevOps? Yes, you can. You can opt. You can learn both the things. That's what we always tell, right, Anmol?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I think that's all for today's session, guys. And please look. Okay. Okay. Ayush is telling Praveen looking for more collaborations with Anmol in future. Definitely. And Anmol is always there to help you. Connect with him on LinkedIn, and you will always learn great things from him. Right. So Anmol, few last words before we wind up this session. And thank you, audience. You all were really awesome. People on YouTube, please like the video and share the channel link with your friends. And people on LinkedIn, as you always show so much love, please hit a like on the post, right? Okay, Anmol, you go ahead.
So,
I will
Praveen, I would like to say that I never got a chance to tell you that when you started the session during Winter 21, so I joined the session. So that session helped me a lot to get opportunity into DevOps. So you help people apart from like telling technical things. So you enlighten the hope that people, yes, people can get into a DevOps role as a fresher as well. So I would like to thank from a core of my heart that you helped me at that time. So because you helped me, so as a thank you is a very small word. Like for thanking you, I help people over LinkedIn. Whenever or whoever come to me over LinkedIn, and if he or she asks me a genuine question or asks me genuine help, I definitely help. And keeping in my mind that you help me someday.
Yes.
So I also help people that someone help me.
Great. That's really great and so nice of you. It's really a great gesture. And thanks, Anmol, for being the part. I see many people. Dinesh is telling nice session. Praveen, thanks for your valuable session. Valuable session. Yes, I see many of the people saying thanks. And again, thanks, Anmol, for coming on to this live on my YouTube and LinkedIn. We will enlighten so many people and help in this manner only. And all the best to all the people, those who are with us, right? Stay tuned and we will see you all in the next live session. Thank you and bye. Thank you, Anmol.
Thanks, Praveen.
Yeah.